We are back with another Cats and Rats Olympic recap show. I'm your host, Kirby Lupo, joined alongside my co-host, Nick Levine, and my Canadian brethren, moderator, Ryan. He's been with me here all week. It's been going good. We're undefeated here.
Yeah, it feels great. Can't lie.
A little bit of sweat today, a little bit of major sweat, but let's get to this. I thought early on today, I caught the end part of that Slovakia Germany game when it was kind of out of reach there for Germany. They had a little bit of a push in the third, but I thought they were out of gas. So I'm like, okay, what does this mean going into the rest of quarterfinal day here? Does this mean the teams that played on back-to-backs are going to run out of gas? They're not even going to have anything. Well, we see 3 straight overtime games. We're going to cover mainly the 2 of the 3, but Canada holds on, comes back and wins it. Then you've got the game later with Finland. They're down 2-0. They tie it up, win it in overtime. Assist by very own Florida Panther Anton Lundell in the stretch past Harry Lehkonen. And then that Sweden-USA game, that was the most chess match game of the day. Nick, I know you covered that. You covered it here on our live stream. We're going to start with that one here first. USA victorious over Sweden, 2-1. I thought it was going to be a way higher scoring game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the issues that America has been having over the tournament were still present today, and it reflects cause for some concern there, particularly the puck management. There were plenty of times where the United States failed to get it out of their zone, or failed to exit the puck out of their zone just through transportation of the puck or just through skating it out. A lot of turnovers in their own blue line, and for other teams, particularly Canada, because that's the team we're chasing. We were silver, they were gold last year. Canada's going to finish those chances. So I think the puck management, number one for United States today, was poor. I think that another part of it is Sweden's puck pursuit was also elite, and we know that that's going to continue to be prevalent in this tournament. We're in the Final Four. These teams are going to give their all. So those are some of the things that I was a little bit concerned about that continued today. Some of the good news. Oh, and Austin Matthews was not too good today.
Interesting.
Was not really present in the game at all. But some of the good things are that Connor Hellebuyck, probably his best game on the international stage in the last 2 years, considering 4 nations and the Olympics so far this year. He was outstanding. And Jacob Markstrom also outstanding. I mean, he made like 35 out of 37 stops or something like that. I think the United States really did a nice job at pushing the pace and controlling the game for large portions of it, but they've really struggled with the puck management, and Sweden coming in waves with their speed, talent, and their puck pursuit. That's something, a formula to keep an eye out for in the future here, particularly when they go to play Slovakia, who, has been a sleeper team throughout this tournament. They've really done a phenomenal job, particularly Juraj Slafkovsky and Dalibor Dvorsky. And, I'll say this, the slot shots against, so you take a look here on Mike Kelly.
Yeah, you mentioned the defense, so I wanted Ryan to share this. Thank you, Ryan. It's kind of analytically saying, hey, U.S. defense is holding up and they're on point. So Nick's response kind of to that. I know I didn't show you this off air.
I don't think, again, they're not finishing on their chances. But there have been plenty of times where they've failed to get the puck out of their own end. It actually led to the Mika Zibanejad goal earlier today. And, when you take a look at the teams remaining, particularly Canada, puck management has been a concern for me with the United States D-Corps over the course of the last couple of games. And I think it could have bit them more in the ass than it has. So let's see if they can clean something up there. I think for me, the biggest story, as I was saying, is Connor Hellebuyck. Kind of going through a little bit of the stats here. Let's take a look here. Connor Hellebuyck stopped 28 out of 29 shots, and
he's first in the Olympics in save percentage, by the way, too.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about that goaltending gap for United States needs to be a little bit more of a much further margin than it has been.
It can't be a coin flip at all, and it can't even be close.
It can't be marginally better, and Connor Hellebuyck, you can argue on them the game today, because I do not think that Sweden played bad. I think Sweden probably played, you could argue, their best game of the tournament. I know they were really good against Italy, which it's Italy. They had good chances against Latvia, although Latvia was pushing for a bit there. But I think all things considered, Sweden had to have been happy with their game. They were coming in waves. The puck pursuit was excellent. And
I just want to jump in. I think they might have played their best game against Slovakia in that result there. And then Finland, yeah, the score result doesn't look good, but they dominated flow against Finland. I would say arguably more than they did against the U.S. This was a weird game. This was a weird game for Sweden. I don't know how to really agree.
Considering the competition they were facing,
True.
I really have.
But did USA have their A+ game where Sweden needed to play theirs? They didn't, and Sweden really.
No, I don't think United States has had their A+ game.
Okay.
The main concerns, and I don't want to beat a dead horse, puck management. I mean, you could go back and watch the live. There are 4 or 5, maybe 6, or the other number that I could count, or you could recall from the live stream where it's turnover, neutral zone turnover, puck management, this, that, the other thing, right back in.
Are you putting that on the forwards or the defense? I thought Sanderson and McAvoy didn't have a good game. Like
That's part of the problem.
And Hughes didn't have a good game in the Denmark game.
I think the blue line has been good. They've really been dynamic. They have driven a lot of the offense for the United States. I think they've done a nice job at suppressing chances, high danger chances, but they also haven't really faced the most difficult teams that are going to be able to get to the inner slot area or able to make you pay on your turnovers. And I think that, to me, is concerning.
Can we give them credit today? And maybe I've seen Sweden a bit more than you guys. You guys let me know. But Nick, I'm throwing this back to you, and Ryan, jump in. Can we give USA credit today for shutting down one of the best lines in this tournament, the Eriksson Ek, Kempe, and Nylander line? I know they get off a little bit there at the end, but or did they just not have their best stuff, or is that a credit to US? That's what I have a hard time determining.
Well, I think it was a combination of a couple of things. Number one, I think that the blue line has done a good job in certain parts in time. I also think there have been points in this tournament where the forwards have failed to come back adequately.
We've had that issue too.
It was a little bit of a problem here today again. I think that line, they did a nice job of shutting them down, but I still think they had their chances. So I think it was a combination of blue line did their job in certain aspects. I also think Connor Hellebuck came up big in many different aspects here today. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to recall some of these saves. There was an opportunity on the doorstep that he stopped. There was an opportunity where they're behind the net. They put it right out in front. Connor Hellebuck has to come up big. There was a lot of chances prior to the tying goal for Sweden that Hellebuck shut down. And, I really do think the speed of Sweden and their compete when it came to loose pucks were really impressive. I was really, really impressed with Sweden. Now, obviously, you don't get the results you want. Maybe, the Victor Hedman injury plays a part in that. I think Jesper Bratt had a much more noticeable game than he has been all tournament.
They scratched him in the first period.
Well, yeah, but then when they actually finally got him shifts, he actually looked pretty good. He was moving out there. So
I saw a stat. He had the highest chances generated per 60 on anyone on Sweden. And they benched him for the period.
Well, I think he had a pretty good game today. And, for me, honestly, I've said the same things over and over again in this tournament. It's been got to be up to the top guys. I think Jack Hughes looked really noticeable out there today. He seems to be more confident with the puck now. Austin Matthews, I'm not as confident with right now.
Wait, how are the Kachucks? Because from what I saw, I only saw the last 10 minutes in overtime. I was working. I did not notice them once, and I don't think they touched the ice in overtime.
I had a hard time noticing them today.
I think Matthew Tkachuk looks, and I know people are going to look at the analytics. The eye test for me, he looks much worse than he did last year at Four Nations. I mean, much less noticeable. Don't think he's making nearly as big as an impact shift by shift. There were a lot of times there I think that line was getting shut down. There's also a lot of times what I notice is I think one of the better lines for the United States this whole tournament has been the Matthews, Gensel, Boldy line. They've had a lot of zone time, a lot of chances cycling the puck. And, some chances go somewhere, other chances kind of go astray. But I really think they've kind of dominated zone time in certain aspects.
But that's a polarizing guy because you talk off of a good game with Matthews and then a game where people aren't noticing him out there. They're like, what?
Well, that's the problem. It's the inconsistency. It's the inconsistency.
I don't think both of those lines have been going, the Eichel and the Matthews.
No, they haven't. It's been one game or the other. And today I don't think either one was going. And then if you
had to pick one, maybe Matthews, but it really wasn't either one.
I think the third line, I think the Dylan Larkin line and the Brock Nelson line where the bottom six was going today. But again, you can't.
People like Ryan gets, and we'll get into it later. Well, only the McDavid line showing up, or hey, the depth is showing up. These teams in Canada, USA, they're not putting it all collectively together with necessarily four lines.
I also think it has been a complete effort. When you take a look again, part of the thing when I say puck management, I think Jake Sanderson and Charlie McAvoy had a brutal game. Jake Sanderson more so a brutal game. Charlie McAvoy continued to struggle. I think the deep pairs are starting to be a little bit of a problem there. I would like to see, and I really did like Jacob Slavin's game today, by the way. It was absolutely outstanding.
Slavin has shown us so much on best where he always rises to the occasion. That is literally the best shutdown defenseman in the league. I don't even think it's close.
He's incredible.
My number one started if you want to put Markstrom number one or Slavin number one or number two, those were my guys, and then Hellebuck in there. Those were my three players.
Well, correct. And again, I know there's this idea, Faber, Slavin shutdown pair, right? But I feel that Faber needs to be with a Zach Werenski and Slavin should be with Quinn Hughes. And then I think Charlie McAvoy should be with Noah Hannafin. Jake Sanderson, I wouldn't really play him as much. I think Noah Hannafin, another guy, had a
Didn't I say to you and Cody, Slavin and Hughes when we were doing our preview shows a couple months ago? And I was like, offensive guy, defensive guy. Put them out there as a top pairing. Slavin can play.
And I think, again, Noah Hannafin is another guy who I think's had a really nice job. He's had a bounce-back tournament. Was very bad in Four Nations last year. Has really had a bounce back and taken over that sixth defense spot now without Jake Sanderson. And another guy we talked a little bit about it on stream, Seth Jones, that size. I talk a little bit about not just puck management, but the net front. I think that right shot defenseman that you could play and trust in certain situations, the big body, it's kind of a bit of a different build than what we currently have on the back end. That's actually a pretty underrated loss right now, I think.
Especially how that game was played today with the forechecking pressure, and you had to just get it out of your zone. I think Jones would have done a good job of that.
Yeah, and I think Sweden did a really nice job of getting in on the forecheck and forcing them, the United States, to make mistakes.
Can I say that? Can I just jump in and say Sweden's forecheck might have been better than their transition rush chances?
I've noticed that the last two games. And maybe it's because there's been a combination of, Sweden's been good there and the United States has been struggling there, I think, for a couple of games, right? I do think a lot of those chances did end up going nowhere. We did a really nice job of recovering. Guys were coming back for certain points in time. The defense.
Pucks bouncing over sticks.
The ice was really poor today as well. So I think that those factors contributed to, for example, like the slot shot stat. I think we've done a good job at not letting teams get to the inside on us. I also think the teams we have faced aren't really the most talented teams, and they're not going to be able to get to the inside.
But you have to give either USA credit today for what they did defensively.
I do.
Hellebuck in net. But also Sweden, are they looking at themselves like, did we leave chances on the table or were we stonewalled by Hellebuck? I don't think they were stonewalled by Hellebuck.
I think for some, I think
4
some,
out of 5 or 5 out of 5 from Hellebuck.
I think some of them, yes. But I also do think that a lot of those chances they left on the table, I think they forced the turnovers. They retrieved pucks very well today. They just weren't getting to the inside. I think a lot of those plays went up to the point. They kind of went nowhere. They were from the outside, the shots. And the United States did a really good job of that. But again, like you mentioned, Kirby, Sweden wasn't particularly good in transition today or off the rush.
I didn't
utilize their speed and skill to the way I thought they would. Right. And credit to the United States for that. But stylistically speaking, I think there are a lot of good rush defenders that the United States has. I think they defend the rush very well. One of the interesting points is that Seth Jones probably would have been the worst defenseman defending the rush that U.S. had. It was this bit of a stylistic change, more of the guy who's going to be in the zone, kill penalties, net front guy, kind of that size and range you need
bigger
there,
body
shot. And I think without that now, you're actually starting to see, there might be zone time and they're kept to the outside, but decision-making, say it again, puck management, there is a tendency they can get caught out there at times, maybe even bullied, forced to make mistakes. And, they've done a good job based off who they played. But I think stylistically speaking, they might have trouble against the Canada. That to me is what's concerning. And they haven't been able to fix it. I mean, you take a look, Charlie McAvoy and Jake Sanderson need to be a lot better. And I think McAvoy's had an okay tournament, but he's been doing this for a while. And I don't think the D pairs are all that great. And then you combine that with the fact that Austin Matthews' line is inconsistent. Then today it's Jack Eichel and the Kachuk brothers, right? It's like we can't get anything going consistently. And I think the United States played their B-level game, B-minus level game. It hasn't been terrific. I mean, they might have had an A-level game. Overall, it was a B-level performance thus far this tournament. So there are a lot of they're playing well, and they're talented enough to where these other teams are maybe going to exploit them to the way you would think, and the stats look really good. But it's like you're watching, it's like there's more there, and there are other things there that could showcase some problems the further we go into this tournament. Now, again, I don't think
with Denmark off the face-off, 2 quick goals quick like that. Where's that all the time?
Well, yeah, correct. And I think, a couple of positive notes. I think we did a really good job at generating a lot of good scoring chances, particularly in transition. What United States has done is they do that quick up pass. It's like where you're kind of hounding on the forecheck. They're barely able to get it out. It's a quick up, and you catch them in a change. And Jacob Markstrom was outstanding tonight.
Yes, he was the goal.
He was outstanding. So
can look at I tried to steal our team to win today.
So I mean, offensive execution has also been somewhat of a problem for United States. I feel like we could have gotten some better looks, not better looks, just better execution, and goal difference.
But I don't know. There was execution there. There was execution there where Markstrom made the saves. I thought Hellebuyck, just from the start, me and Ryan talked about this a lot in the post-game shows, he's down on his knees behind the net, and I'm like, stays down there, stays big. I'm like, this guy's confident right now. Like, I don't think much is going to beat him. It's going to have to be some good quality scoring chances.
Well, and that's the other thing is he had some point-blank opportunities. There was one when they were behind the net, and I forget who it was. It might have been Nylander. I don't remember who it was. Zibanejad also had a really good game today, by the way. Zibanejad threw right out of the front. There was a point-blank opportunity right in the slot, actually, and Hellebuyck passed it with ease. Now, again, there are some rebound control issues. Shots from the
gave that one out that went way out there, but then no one was there.
Right.
That shot, I think it was.
I think, personally, that, to me, is the most encouraging sign, is if we're able to get that performance out of Connor Hellebuyck and that confidence – it can offset some of the inconsistencies from our top six, from Eichel, from Matthews, from Jack Hughes, from the Kachuk brothers, right? But again, I don't think they've been consistently good together. I think it's one game, this line's rolling. Then the other game, this line's rolling. Today it was the bottom six. Like, oh, that's good. It's like everybody's picking up the slack. But, I mean, your star guys need to show up. And if your star guys aren't up front and they're on the back end, and part of that's Charlie McAvoy, he needs to be a lot better too. So,
well, star guys, you could say Hellebuyck, and who got the game winner today? Quinn
Hughes. So that's the positive.
Those guys, then you can say, yes, the star guys did show up. The superstar guys did show up.
Correct. But I think I still have a little bit of reservation with having full confidence in certain guys to perform do what they need to do in some of those high pressure must-win games.
Ryan?
Yeah, I totally agree. From what I saw of the game, it looked like Connor Hellebuyck was steady and had that confidence. And I think Sweden's going to look back at that, and I don't think they're going to look back and regret. I think they're going to look at that game saying we're still close. We lost our group. We kind of did to ourselves. That's what I think what Sweden's going to be looking at. And I think the U.S., if the Kachucks don't show up like they kind of weren't there today, I think it's going to be easy to take Slovakia lightly and then get surprised. So I think they got to have definitely a locker room talk where you can't take a team like Slovakia easily as well, because they're in the semifinals, right? And
Ryan, American fans want to say Canada hasn't been the most consistent team, the most dominant team. We can get into that in the next segment.
But can I just say this on that?
No. Then their answer has to be Slovakia. And if you haven't watched Slovakia, then you're sleeping on them as a fan.
Can I just say on the Canada front, there was this whole conversation about, they're really good. They're so dominant. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they are dominant. then it's like, okay, well, if they're not dominant, then what are they? Just really lucky? Or if they are dominant, it's they haven't been tested. They haven't faced adversity. I think they have showcased through talent and through performance, they have the talent to overcome any of these hurdles that will come their way. Number two, the performance indicate that the talent is legit and they are one of the best teams you could argue that has been assembled in recent memory. And then number three, they got tested today. Your captain goes out with, I don't know what the injury is. We'll find out, I'm sure, sooner rather than later. Your captain goes out. You're down 2-1. You tie it up. You're down 3-2 after a blatant missed call. And Nick Suzuki, a guy who wasn't on the team last year, comes in, basically a one-man show on the forecheck, and he's able to tip one home. And then Mitch Marner, who's a big game player.
Well, before that, by the way, Suzuki owed us 2. He missed a wide open net and hit the post. And then that on the goal where the check said 8 people on the ice, he kind of took no one.
So I think the point is Canada has showcased dominance. They've showcased they've had the talent, and now they showcase they can handle adversity. And they've been tested, and they have bounced back. That's a gutsy win by Canada today, too. I mean, really.
And before,
I was telling Kirby, it's like,
Ryan, go ahead.
Sometimes you struggle when you get adversity, and you need to make sure you fought adversity before that last game. You don't want to go in the final where you've had no issues, no struggles at all, and have just been cruising through everything. I think sometimes it's good to have a win like this where you learn that, if things aren't going perfect, you lose your captain and one of the best players of all time, you go down late, you can still, show up and win and stay composed. And I think that's super important to show that they're capable of that and they know how to fight adversity off.
And I don't think that was a big issue. Like, regardless of whether they blew out Czechia today or not, I wasn't worried, has it been too easy for them? Like, the guys in that locker room, it's when you're a good team, you're a good team. And the guys in that locker room have faced championship runs. The experience is already there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, just because this team doesn't experience it this year doesn't mean there's not guys in that locker room that would know how to handle that situation if it were to arise.
And I want to know where people are ranking teams here. If they're ranking, Canada hasn't been impressive, well, then you need to bump Slovakia up. If you're saying USA has been so impressive, but you're going to knock Canada, I would like to know why that is. And again, what Slovakia has done, if you want to say they've been the most impressive team from start to end, then fine. You can show me that and say they were in Group B. Their games against Sweden, Finland, obviously what they did here today, Germany, like they took care of business quicker than any team did today here on quarterfinals. So again, like you cannot grade USA so high and bring down those two other teams. We'll get to the other one here in a little bit. Finland, they've had an interesting path to the point that they've got here. Finland today really escapes with a victory, which I thought more than any team. And then they started the tournament not so hot. So if you want to talk about consistency, I think you have to look at Canada. If you're going to knock Canada on today's effort, fine, you can knock them down half a peg or something like that. But like I said the wrong year to you, Ryan. I think I said 2010. It was 2014 when Canada dominated competition like no other. They only beat Latvia 2-1, I believe, in the quarterfinals.
Oh, yes, that was 2014, yep.
2014. And that was arguably to date the most dominant Canada team. So were they saying at that time, Canada's not for real because they were tested in a quarterfinal team to an inferior opponent? And Latvia is much more of an inferior opponent than Czechia.
Oh, for sure. And like we've seen from Latvia prior, or even this tournament, they aren't a team like Czechia at all. Like they had 3-4 NHL players max, and one of them was Sandis Vilmanis, who just became an NHL player. And it's just like every game you're not going to win a blowout. It's just how it goes. Hockey is not one of those sports, like I would say basketball is one where the better team can win 99 out of 100 times and they'll blow them out. Like there's a lot less parity. In hockey, that way that puck bounces, the way these guys play, like you can't just sleep on a team. I totally agree with you. And it's like that happens. Like, look at this. Like
this is so key because I said prior, I think that United States rush defense, the defense against the rush has been pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Right? Pretty good. I think the forecheck chances and cycle chances by Canada. When you take a look at a team with that much talent, that much speed in transition, and that's not where most of their chances are generating from. They're coming from the net front and rebound and tip chances off the forecheck, off the cycle. Then, yeah, the power play is unbelievable. And then you also have speed and transition. It is such a dynamic, versatile attack Canada brings, and particularly how well they've been able to buy into the system of generating chances off the cycle, generating chances off the forecheck, going to the front of the net. And I think that could present some problems for the United States Defense Corps. Smaller D corps, more puck moving. They have struggled with the net front. They have struggled with puck management. And again, if Sweden's forecheck and puck pursuit were getting to them, what is Canada's going to be like? And not to mention, you can get burnt on the power play or the rush chance, and that's probably where you're best suited.
Can I just add on the rush chances watching the game today, Ryan, us doing the live stream? Appreciate everyone that joined us there. Another monster stream there for us today on the Canada side. The rush chances, it's a combination of Czechia playing their best game off the rush this game and Canada not back checking like they were in the other games. So it's a combination of both. And that's the one category that we see here, Ryan, that they were outnumbered.
For sure. And I'm surprised too, like what Nick was saying, when you have guys like McDavid, McKinnon, and you're getting 5 rush chances a game, it shows great coaching by Czechia, even though their coach, he doesn't understand the concept of irony. You could tell they were trying to shut down the rush with the way they were playing defensively. It was very hard for Canada to get down and down with speed through the neutral zone. Even on the power play, there was a couple times where they'd go down and get to the blue line and then kind of be pushed against the wall. And I think Czechia did a good job of stopping that, other than, the Mitch Marner undressing the 3 guys left on Czechia. But yeah, I guess like what Nick's saying, could be super worrisome for the U.S. defense if they do happen to play Canada. And I think on the other side of it, the Canadian defense this last game was not moving the puck fast enough. They have the opposite problem in the States where we don't have those puck movers. Colton Parayko, Travis Sanheim, 2 of the guys who I noticed were not making those breako passes in time. We're not able to use our speed to our fullest effect when McDavid is wide open, waiting for a pass to rush through the neutral zone on the blue line, and Parayko's not giving him the puck. So I think that's totally going to affect them completely the other way, and why I think, speaking of injuries, Josh Morrissey is so key for the Canada to get back if they want to win the gold medal against a team like the U.S.
Nick? And I know, Ryan,
the puck moving ability there. I think one of the things, there is dynamic guys on the back end for Canada.
Yeah.
Cale Makar, Josh Morrissey, dude.
Cale Makar is playing 26 minutes a game. And
Devontae is one of the most complete defensemen, one of the better defensive defensemen in the NHL.
So underrated still so underrated.
And I think you have a bit of that size and range where it does get underrated at times stylistically. I know people are saying, Parayko and Sanheim. Those aren't slouches. They can play, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's kind of one of those things where the forwards are so bought in. I mean, they come back and they support. The puck support, the back checking, they're able to fill lanes properly. It's like they've been playing together for 3 years continuously. And
for sure.
I think combining that with the buy-in on the forechecking and the cycle game, and I'll say this, I don't think Cale Makar has gotten fully off.
Either. No, there's a gear still.
I think there's another gear that's
Cale Makar game yet.
I think that when you take a look at the puck support for both puck retrieval and puck recoveries, it's been off the charts. I mean, it really does look like a team that's been playing together for a while. And, I know they've suffered with today. And again, I'm not saying the United States has no chance, right? Now I picked Canada. I'm going to remain with that pick. But the thing with the United States, if I could say some positive about them, is that blue line is so dynamic. And if you can get a dynamic blue line going with just one game where that top 6 is rolling like you need it to, Connor Hellebuyck is really confident right now. This might be your opportunity. You got to take it and run with it. And you need a good performance against Slovakia. Mm-hmm. Now, again, another point, I don't think it's going to matter as much. It could have an effect is the Crosby injury if he's not able to come back in this tournament. I think that Crosby-Stone line has been excellent throughout this tournament. Mark Stone didn't have a good game today. He had his worst game of the tournament, and I think that has a lot to do with Sidney Crosby going out. I mean,
well, you still got to be able to make a pass when you're getting off the bench, and the two defensemen can't go for a line change.
yeah.
You know? But they expect him to make that pass, so I'm not really going to get on the D, but you got to make sure that pass is made, right? Well,
yeah,
the first
but
goal,
again, I think the how smart Sidney Crosby is, and again, talent-wise, top 3, top 5 player in the world still, you're going to miss that. You're going to miss it down the middle, and I think that I'm really kind of interesting to see how that Stone and Marner line goes without Crosby. Do they have Suzuki in the middle between those two?
Suzuki.
Yeah, they moved Suzuki to
Because
third
they've
line.
been moving him around all tournament. They started him, I think, on the wing. Then he moved to
He's been
center.
on-
Then he was back on the wing.
for
And now he's
the
back to
biggest-
center.
Yeah, for the most part of the game, it was Suzuki on the right side, McKinnon, and then Hagel on the left side.
Yeah.
But
But again, it'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to really come down to who can polish their game a little bit. If the United States can polish their game up a little bit and get some consistency, then they're going to have a real shot here. If Crosby can't come back, and that bottom 4 defense proves to be a weaker point than maybe I'm worried about, or you kept Binnington on an off night. I know he's in clutch, but it's like you got playmakers that can get to the front of the net. And if you can get some consistency, good goaltending, and take advantage of some of the injuries and maybe the roster deficiency on the back end for Canada, you're going to have a real shot. But again, the other side, you could take advantage of the forecheck cycle chances net front against the smaller, more elusive American defense, and that top 6 your star guys aren't going, well, then you got the dog mentality. You got all the talent. You got a locked-in goalie. There's 2 avenues here. And if United States polishes their game, I think they'll be in good shape. They could polish their game, and Austin Matthews can actually get going. Well, then I think you get in a bit of another gear there.
Yeah.
So,
well,
we'll
Cody had a comment. He said this might be my bias, but Reinhart should be where Stone is. I would argue with the Crosby injury, I would put Reinhart on the right wing in Suzuki's point with Hagel and McKinnon, and have Suzuki third line, Stone and Marner, which has looked great, and then have Bennett as your on the 4th line, I guess, to bring them up, and have Bennett, Marchand, and Horvat. That's what I would do personally.
I wonder how hurt Sam Reinhart is right now.
Yeah, I think there's got to be
I'm going to be honest with you. Sam Reinhart, and I know Nick Suzuki and Macklin Celebrini are here. He wasn't playing this. Braden Point was there last year. Anthony Cirelli was getting penalty kill time over Sam Reinhart last year in the Four Nations. What was Sam Reinhart's ice time in Four Nations last year?
It was decent. I do
there's no way Sam Reinhart is playing less than Seth Jarvis if he's not.
And he's playing power play 1 too.
So I think, again, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, how hurt are they? Brad Marchand, we know, is banged up. I mean, I don't know how much more they can really do with that. I mean, I think John Cooper, we talked about it the other day, Kirby. John Cooper, you can consider doing Brad Marchand a favor, by sitting him out those 2 games, allowing him to kind of recover and rest where he's not as worn down and beat up. Again, I think navigating that is going to be crucial for them. And then the Crosby injury, just another caveat down the middle. But I wouldn't be too worried about it if I were Canada. But it is definitely something to monitor.
For sure. No, for sure. And I would say Reinhart definitely got something up with him, like you were saying, because he has been invisible almost. Not like we're not noticing him at all. He hasn't been his best. He's not in situations where you normally is. He's playing power play 1, yes, and he's been good in that bumper spot. But a guy like Sam Reinhart should easily be there. On what's it called? On special teams, on penalty kill. He's great for penalty kill. He's also great 5-on-5 when you need a goal. I'm surprised he wasn't on it almost at all in the last 5 minutes. So I'm just shocked that Reinhart, if he was healthy and he'd be like this, because he showed in Four Nations he was one of the best players. He was named to the team for a reason as one of the top 6, and it's just thank God we have depth like we do, because another team loses a guy like that, and it could tank their season. But it's 17-41. But
So
Thanks.
there is no way Sam Reinhart lost 8 minutes of ice time in the last year. Period. Even if he played bad, he didn't play bad. There isn't a huge roster difference. With Sidney Crosby going out, he still didn't break 10 minutes. I think it's a conversation worth having that he's hurt. There's no way he's not. There's no way.
There's no he's not.
Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand's definitely hurt. Sam Bennett shouldn't be playing more than the 9-10 minutes.
No.
He wasn't on the team originally.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, he took over for a guy in Sorelli who probably would have been playing penalty kill at this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Point. So now we're taking a look at this because this almost cost you guys the tournament.
Oh my! I don't. Let's
our very own Cesar Lucero talks about double touching with curling. All the people hating on Canada, are they going to talk about this? I don't know. We're talking about it. We still win the game, Ryan. But this is a big talking point of today that some people are going to choose to bury with their narratives.
Okay, let's count the guys. Okay, so there's one guy right in front of Dostal, one guy engaged with the Canada forward in front of Dostal, one guy right between the hash marks, one guy on the far left wing, one guy on the far right wing, and one guy on the floor. That's 6. That is not 5. That is 6. And the fact that this went uncalled in the defensive zone, it's not even like they're just jumping off the bench and it's a quick little short, for a second or two. This is in the defensive zone.
I think the referee's been awful.
That's embarrassing. And
I think the officiating has been terrible this tournament. These refs, I honestly sometimes wonder, are they operating under different rules? Because that is how bad and blatantly bad they've been.
This was my issue. They said, let's do half NHL refs, half international refs. So they're calling different games in the same game. It makes no sense. And to continue off this, we can't show clips here, but CBC, our Canada Broadcasting Company, showed the video with 8 Czechia players on the ice at once. When they went down the ice, 2 more hopped on and no one came off. They counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's like I said, this clearly impacts it. This blocks a shot. That guy's not supposed to be on the ice. Harley's shot goes through. Don't know what happened. On the way back, Suzuki looks lost. Doughty looks lost. They're like, why is there so many of them? There's 4 forwards coming out of him on the rush. Like, that's ridiculous. How that's not called, how that's not noticed. How, when you see them celebrating in a huddle, when there's 6 guys giving each other a hug, how does no, lights go off in any of the linesmen or the referee? Because the linesman can call that. It's not just the referees who call that. The linesman can say something. They've done it before. They literally blow the whistle and they tell the refs, hey, we saw this, and they go over it. If that would have cost, of course, Chris Rooney was the ref. If that would have costed Canada a shot in the Olympic semifinals, we would have had a war. It would have been, we would have ended up like Josh Allen, the Bills. They would have made new rules so they can review too many men on the ice because of the outrage.
We got another one to show there, Ryan, after the goal. I think Bar Down put it out there. If we can show that. You want me to pull this down, or can you?
Yeah, I got it. Don't worry.
You got it? Okay.
There you go.
There we go. There's more evidence.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're in a huddle. Like, hello.
Still not.
I will say this. I know.
How do you miss this?
It's fans. I know fans. We give a lot of crap to NHL referees and NHL officiating.
Too much, I think, sometimes.
But when I take a look at, for example, there are times in the NHL where there will be a call that is this close, and more times than not in review, the ref got it right. The linesman got it right. And comparing it to this tournament, I think the NHL officiating is probably one of the biggest winners of this tournament. I think NHL has the best officiating for hockey in the world. And, I think it's just another thing to kind of put it in perspective is these refs are right a lot more times than they're wrong. And I know there's been some horrendous calls, or some of that could be driven by bias or actual genuine reason. But I think NHL refs are probably one of the biggest winners of this tournament, because I think you kind of see they're the best in the world, and there's a reason they're.
I have one more screenshot that I want to put up there.
They don't miss half these calls in the NHL, Cody. There's blatant calls they'll miss, and then it'll be like a little slash, and they'll call it. I do not get it. It is so inconsistent. I don't get the game they're calling. Genuinely, it is blatantly bad.
Hey, look at this one. Oh, the thing on the side is cutting. Thank you. Let's count how many on this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
Hello? Like, are you kidding me? 8.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about with the Hudson Ghost call. And again, it's a quick game, but I think more times than not, they get it right. And that doesn't mean there's not horrendously bad calls. And I saw the Hudson. I know the one you're referring to. That was atrocious. But, I mean, you've seen how bad refs can be now. I mean, this is joke, this tournament. I don't think that's getting talked about enough. And maybe this will allow
I think that I've liked how they've let things go, but this is a whole other can of worms and talk.
Well, they've let things go, and then other games they're calling little shit, right? So,
okay.
I don't know.
That's the problem. Inconsistency. We've said it on this podcast, this group of guys. All we care about is getting consistency. It's okay if you don't want to call every little ticky-tack thing. It's okay if, you're calling more penalties some games. Just make it consistent. And we didn't see – and another thing I had problem in the Canada game was the interference inconsistencies. Macklin Celebrini gets called in the softest interference penalty I've seen in my entire life when he's getting held at the same time. Just two guys scrambling for position. And then Crosby gets decked twice without the puck. Absolutely nothing. Other guys, I think it was McKinnon or McDavid gets decked. No whistle or anything for that. So stuff like that is the issue with the inconsistencies that I think bothered me. Holy Cody comment was crazy. Would you?
I'd rather have Kirby Lupul switch sports and start coaching the Sweden national team. That's what I would freaking have. Kirby, you interested?
Would you rather have the refs calling your game or have your coach?
That's like
that's an easy one for me. The refs.
Yeah.
Even Chris Rooney, I might take at this point. You know my thoughts on Chris Rooney.
But do you think Crosby's done? I have no clue.
I don't think
I find it very hard to believe he won't play in the gold medal game.
I was about to say I don't think he plays for Finland, but if we win that game, he's playing.
That's what I'm leaning to. And if he's still hurt and he doesn't know how much he can play in the gold medal game, you could still be on the bench because of the Olympic rules of icing an extra player. So
the Stamkos stuff, like when Stamkos did it for the Lightning.
Yeah. Like for being the power play when he was come back for his major injury.
Victor Hedman was hurt, Cody.
Hurt in warm-ups is what I've heard.
That's so he was hurt.
He was on the bench dressed.
Yeah. And then right before our ad break, just show this tweet how to sum up the Canada-Czechia 6-man on the ice. This is the most ironic tweet or ironic thing I've ever heard anyone say. It was the Czechia coach says, we're basically playing against 6 players, blaming the refs. How are you this situationally unaware? Is this the most brain-dead comment you could ever say? You could have said the refs were poor. You saying we were basically playing against 6, the way you worded it just makes you look so foolish. It's almost intentional. It's like you lost a bet and someone said, this is what you got to say. Because that is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm a former Florida Panthers or current Florida Panthers fan.
Kirby, are you going to Montreal?
Montreal?
I'm going to Montreal. Former Florida Panther Ratko Gudas, he's out there today doing certain things in the game. Yeah. We didn't have Sam Bennett out there on the ice, so you can always blame Sam Bennett. He was up in the bleachers, so you can't blame Sam Bennett for doing stuff and running around out there. So who are they talking about, Ryan? What did Tom Wilson do today? I don't know. I don't think he did anything.
Almost just took a stupid high-sticking penalty.
That's what he did. That's what he contributed to the game. But they were trying to chirp at him and goad him into certain things. They said they were doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the officials were on Canada's side today. I didn't think it was that type of game at all. What
the
did
one
they have?
argument you can make, maybe they might have missed a slash on that Natchez break earlier way before even the blue line. And that's what one thing is what I saw. Like, well, okay,
they let other things go, and that's fine. There was a breakaway where they didn't call it. There was another one.
You're not going to call penalties in the last few minutes of a tie game or an overtime of a medal. Like,
not.
What about when Crosby got obstructed and he got blown away?
That's what I'm saying. Crosby got smoked twice interference. Twice in one shift.
Oh, you guys hash that out. We're going to hear a word from our sponsor, CatsNR.
Panthers fever is here. Are you geared up? CatsNR in Davie is the place for all your Florida Panthers needs. They have the latest gear for our favorite NHL team. Jerseys, polos, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and more. Caneswear has you covered. Stop by their store in Davie or at pantherswear.com. Again, that's pantherswear, WEAR.com for all your Panthers gear.
And in a word from another one of our sponsor, Jeremy Beckham, champions don't settle and neither should you. Let me introduce Jeremy Beckham at Beck Sells FLA, bringing a competitive edge to South Florida luxury real estate. If you want a home that performs in all three zones, location, lifestyle, and long-term value, Jeremy is your power play. The clock's ticking. Let's go for the cup. Reach out now at becksellsfla.com. And as always, we appreciate everybody's support. Special shout out to Sasha Barkey16. I'd like to think that's actually him, so we'll go with that. But no, $10 donation. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Got to root for Finland. So that's you there, Nick.
No, that's you.
Hey, I'll make you a deal, Sasha Barkey.
You're playing.
Sasha Barkey, I'll root for Finland in the bronze medal game if they're there.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody. We've had record high streaming numbers over the last week. Thanks to everybody who has been joining us during the day for our live streams and for our post-game coverage. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, like the video, comment on our videos. If you would like, purchase a super chat donation. We really do appreciate all the support. If you would like to buy a membership or upgrade a membership that you already own, or even gift one, you can go to our YouTube homepage, and there is a place right here underneath the membership tab. You can find out all the different perks, all the different options, price points that would be best suited for you. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to reach out to me or Kirby. And again, we appreciate all the support.
Yeah, Nick, we got to start doing a virtual tour on walking people through the post where the members area is and where everything kind of is. Just help them navigate. That'll help a little bit more as we go along. We'll leave that up on the screen there. Thank you very much, Sasha. Mark.
Interesting question by Cody.
Yeah.
Who's tougher?
Great to have Cody in the chat here, getting some dialogue here on a late night. I know we have 80 people in the chat right now, but appreciate everyone contributing to the chat there. Which one there, Ryan, do we got?
Who's a tougher matchup now, Finland or Slovakia?
Take that down a second.
Probably Slovakia.
Really?
Yeah. No, Finland.
I would just make the argument on Finland based on straight NHL talent. I think Slovakia has looked better. I think Slovakia is better coached, and I don't think it's close. But I think Finland having UC Saros, who is, one of the best goalies he's shown, that's an NHL caliber goalie who's been a star, and I think that's just another edge. But I just think you can't overcome that star power. And even though Slovakia's looked better, they have better chemistry, they beat Finland. I think Finland, I could see you winning a gold medal. I wouldn't shock me. I mean, with Barkov, especially if he was playing, but I can't see Slovakia winning a gold medal. And I think that's the difference to me, why I think we have a tougher matchup.
But is that the continuing storyline here of sleeping on Slovakia? Or is it like, again, I'm wearing my Gonzaga hat. Is this a March Madness thing where the Cinderella team finally runs out of, realism? And this is a Cinderella team of all Cinderella teams. Then they became a power. But I don't think Slovakia is a power yet.
I don't think so.
They're still in that Cinderella phase. But you can't sleep on them either, because if the light bulb's going off for Slavkovsky here, Nick and Ryan, going forward, he could be a totally different player. Now, I know he did this in the last Olympics when it wasn't best on best and put up points, and he still had to find his game in Montreal. But he's, 4 years older, 3.5, 4 years older at this point.
It's true.
Is he hitting that peak right now? And can he take them there? And I don't think it's just him. They've got Shervanka. He's a 40-year-old captain on a back-to-back day, and he had a hell of a game today.
Dalibor Dvorsky's also been really good for them.
Dvorsky's the young guy. You've got the old guy there.
Dvorsky is not even an everyday.
You got that goaltender.
The goaltender. If you want to talk about a team dragging you to a championship or getting you all the way there, that's been done in the past in the NHL. That could be done in a short tournament with Halave in net there. He's been
at this point,
goalie of the tournament.
You only need a game or two, right? You just need it to be the right day.
And he's getting rest, too. And some people are saying, is he going to lose his game or whatever? I don't think he did today from what the parts that I saw of it, Yeah.
No, I it's going to be great to see, because no matter what happens, I know both teams, Slovakia and Finland, are going to make it a challenge. We've seen it doesn't matter what a team does in the preliminaries. When these teams come to the winner take all medal round games, they're playing for their entire country, and you can just tell a team like Czechia even played that amazing because they knew they had a chance to make semifinal. Totally different from the preliminary rounds. Slovakia, imagine how they must be feeling knowing they're just this underdog and how much they'll be loved if they can go home with the medal. So I think those are things that I don't think we're going to get a blowout in a semifinal for sure. And I can't say I thought the same going into the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, I said, I thought Finland, they might blow out Switzerland, or we could blow out Czechia again, or it wouldn't surprise me if the U.S. would have smoked Sweden. But I just think now we're at the stage where we're not getting these blowout games, and we should expect some great hockey.
No, yeah, good point. And almost like it's going to be another matchup with Canada from their group stage if Switzerland
would have won
lead, and they would have had to play the same team that they played in the group stage. And if you look at the Final Four right now, there is 2 teams from Group B, Finland and Slovakia, which people are now crowned officially, I believe, the best group of the tournament. We'll see if they medal. Well, one will, and we'll see where the other one ends up. So again, there's a lot of storylines there, and I started to pay more attention to Group B going along here. Ryan, I know we're gonna do some film maybe on Finland, so we're prepared for that semifinal game. We're gonna be live for that. That's the early game on. Let me get my days right here. Thursday, right?
Friday.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen. And then the later game on Friday in the afternoon there will be USA and Slovakia. Mm-hmm. And is that going to be a problem again for USA, Nick? They've been talking about these late start times. Well, that ties into network television and these different things. That's where they're at. Canada's always been there with different tournaments, Ryan, on later start times usually. So this is where USA sits now.
I'm definitely a fan of our early start times, and I think it's beneficial to the US too, because I think if they see Canada beat Finland and they know they can have a match with Meat of Destiny again for revenge, I think they'll have that extra motivation. Because from what I've seen from the States, they kind of lack that extra drive, that external motivation when they play. It just looks like they don't need it, like they don't want it as much as some other teams. So I think if they see Canada win, it'll help them a lot more with that motivation. So that, and also I love playing the morning game. It's great for me. I rather wake up early and watch it instead of stressing all day waiting. Like nothing is.
But the morning stress today, Ron, that's too much, man. Well, like I looked at the clock.
Get ready for Sunday.
We're down here. We're down here, and I'm like, it's 11 Mountain Time, our time.
Well, yeah, we'll make sure Kirby be ready for Sunday, and you better be wearing shorts too. No pants, no slippers, no robes, no blankets, no coats.
Sunday, the sun's not even going to be up here for the gold medal game.
It's going to be pitch black outside.
Are we all on the gold medal stream, regardless of the matchup?
I'm down.
I mean,
we are if it's Canada USA. It's going to be a very full house in here.
Well, if we're Canada USA, I don't think we have a choice. I'll have to get my ass up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday.
We might have to draw straws for who gets cut.
Cut. No,
but anyway, gentlemen. We got anything else here tonight?
No, this has been a great show. We've had great numbers here all day today on the replays as well. One of our replays, I think, was up to 1K views almost the other night there. So.
It's great to see. No, for sure. And it's just Martian. Yeah, Beefcat Martian did play. And I am so curious to see how Canada can take advantage of the Finnish defense, because they have Lindell, Heiskanen, Miklo, they're good. But Miklo's been pinching like crazy, and I think that's gonna affect him a lot. And I think the forecheck for Canada on the defense will be good. It's very important to get that going early.
And shout out to everybody here today. We've had over 40,000 views on the 2 live streams we've had.
Wow. Today. Hell yeah, guys.
So we appreciate all the support. Means a lot. And make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you like our content, hit the notification bell. We're not doing podcasts, which we do every week, bi-weekly, I think, at this point. We're usually always live. So, again, appreciate all the support. And, yeah, Kirby?
Yeah, if you want to go watch back some key moments, we'll have timestamps for the streams. Yeah. I can't speak for Nick's, but there was some funny moments for sure for us.
Oh, there was some funny moments. This has been a blooper-filled week.
Yeah. I had a couple bloopers here there, too. I lost track for a little bit. My mic started fuzzing out. But if you go and watch when Nick Suzuki tipped that in, or even actually it's probably funnier seeing when Palat scored.
Yeah.
Just seeing me crash out was hilarious. I look back at it and I was like, I can't believe I act like this over.
Did anything else?
I'm like an animal.
But anything else, gentlemen?
Well, we have someone on stage here. We're wrapping up. You not seeing it, Nick?
I'm not on the StreamYard thing. Hold on.
You're not looking at the screen and you yell at me.
It was a surprise.
Kirby, you want to introduce him?
Well, I guess I can here. You guys are not running it here. I got a beef to pick with this
There
guy.
we go.
Gentlemen,
Jeez.
I just want to say sorry, Kirby.
Yeah, I don't like you coming out my Canadian like that.
No,
I
apologize.
was the moderator today. I was playing everything fair.
I apologize. I'm coming on here to apologize. I'm being the
so
bigger
there's on-air
person.
apology coming.
Okay. My emotions got the best of me. I was hyped. All
I feel
right.
like this is
All
an
this
You were like
Canadian
Sam
talk.
Bennett put someone through the wall. I'm just,
All this
I feel like
Canadian
this is an
talk.
off-air discussion, eh, Ryan?
You know I love you, Kirby. No hard feelings or anything. But that was a big win for USA, and I was shocked. And it just came out.
We're gonna keep him curling though.
If I was talking smack, I will take it and embrace it. I was just like, I didn't know where that was coming from. I was like,
But
stats and numbers.
I also was moderating your guys' channel when you guys were on.
Yeah.
So
No, I appreciate it. But our Canada streams have been very pleasant, right? Everything's been going good over there. Everything's copacetic.
Shout out Ben, by the way, who's fast asleep right now, I'm sure.
Ben coming
so
on
funny,
the USA.
Ben has been, I think, on every single one. So
He said he wanted to log the minutes, so I think
that he is. So I'm sure he's
Ben
fast asleep
Ben
right
is
now.
so
But
funny because he just wants us to watch us like crash out. If it's Canada and US in the gold, this guy's gonna be the biggest antagonizer of all time. He's gonna be private messaging us. Hey, Big C's told me this. Hey, Nick told me this about you. Hey, Kirby said this. You're gonna respond to that? I'm telling you.
shout out to Antonio, by the way. Not everybody knows that. But
Yes.
shout out to Antonio because this side of the screen, Caesar, it's the better one, according to Antonio. But we
Yes.
really do
According to
appreciate it.
Antonio.
Ah,
Yeah, Ryan, he was saying some stuff on the stream.
Yeah,
I gotta go back and watch Ryan.
Well,
I know
Antonio,
We'll have to put Antonio in time.
I know you don't watch Ryan. Anyway.
Antonio, I was at work. I tried. I'm sorry.
Anyways, anything else, gentlemen?
I want to say, Antonio, I even combed my hair for you today, and this is how you.
Elo, Adonis, everyone there.
yes.
I don't want to butcher your name. Olechka. I think I'm saying that's how you guys say it.
Olechka.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Olechka. Yeah, she's been here all week. Appreciate all the super chat donations, all the gifted memberships. RC's been doing that all tournament long. Shout out to you, RC. Shout out to all our members. We have not forgotten you. There is a contest coming up here soon. Members only stream as well, but we've been live like every night. So
And we cannot forget about Die Hard. Die Hard has
right.
been with us every single game, every single moment, every single spaces.
myself.
Die
yes.
Hard could be easily our assistant captain. Shouts out to you, Die Hard. Thank you,
You
bro.
might get the promotion to coach Team Sweden now over the coach there.
Hey,
So,
I better be on that fucking staff. I better be on that staff.
does anyone have a coin right now? Caesar, do you have a coin? Nick, maybe.
I
I have
do.
a point.
We're flipping this for a reason. Who's got a coin? Nick,
Me.
don't cheat it here.
I have a $5 bill,
That's fine. Hand it over.
and I got a couple cash out vouchers from the Hard Rock. That's
Oh,
I got a Pikachu coin.
Okay, what?
How much?
Okay, what's that? Okay, is it two different sides?
Tails.
Pikachu
I
and
got one
nothing.
too, but
Okay, you flip it, Ryan. They call it.
Ready?
Heads.
Tails never fails.
Heads.
Heads. Okay, they win. Okay, we're gonna sign off first. You guys get to sign off live. Don't
Thank
pull
you.
anything, Ryan. If they pull anything, write it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
here we
you
go.
guys already have receipts apparently. So
Okay, this was a great day. Great quarterfinal day. Finland moves on, Slovakia moves on. But why we're here, covering the Canada and USA streams. Another Canada and USA win day. We've seen a lot of those here in this tournament so far. Let's see
Appreciate it, Dan.
forward here. Thank you so much, Dan. Thank you.
Winnipeg, I think he said, right?
We're going to do the sign off here. Okay, as always, let's go.
Canada.
Team USA. But anyway, Take care.